بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وصلى على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. I've been informed that normally the 15th is at by 10:30. It is the time for break. That is like one of the most difficult things for a student to be doing after the time of break of study class. So inshallah can just be relaxed on that, but inshallah we'll try to stick within that time. The purpose is not to that every time there has to be one lengthy bayan of any sort. I've come for my own benefit, and in this little time that we sit and sometimes just exchange one or two things, Allah Ta'ala makes it a benefit for everyone. So may Allah Ta'ala make it a means of khair for myself, for all of us. This opportunity that Allah has blessed us, this is priceless. And the more we make shukr for it, like shakartum la azidannakum. Allah Ta'ala will bless us with an increase in that ni'mat and favor. The shukr is one verbal shukr, that we express our gratitude to Allah Ta'ala. Alhamdulillah ala ni'matil iman, alhamdulillah ala ni'matil Quran, alhamdulillah ala ni'mat all the various bounties. And then practical shukr. Practical shukr, that now we use this time that Allah Ta'ala has made possible for us to be here in the way that we are supposed to conduct ourselves, in that manner that we are supposed to spend our time, in learning, in our amal, in trying to implement everything into our day-to-day life. That is the spirit of ilm. One is whatever knowledge we are acquiring, but it cannot be something confined to just learning things, memorizing things, and not then translating it into practical life. It must become part and parcel of our life. That's the object of being here. That when we leave here, we leave with what we've learned here, and we carry it along for the rest of our life. Sometimes people complain that mashallah, during the course of the week I perform my salah and so on, but then when the madrasa is over, the weekend comes, and people go back home, whatever for the weekend, everything goes haywire. I miss my salah and something else I get involved in, and this and that. So now the purpose of madrasa was that whether it is the weak end or the strong end, doesn't stay strong all the time. He doesn't get weak. That was the object. That a person is studying in madrasa, he is learning. While he is in madrasa, that's the strong end of it, he's still strong. And the weak end of things too, he's still strong. He doesn't get weak. He remains firm. Because what he is learning is not for madrasa, what he is learning is for life. So anyone who comes into a madrasa, this madrasa or any madrasa, what he learns in the madrasa is not for the madrasa. Many times in the makatib, the children are taught many things, surahs, du'as. Take a 5 minutes time to wrap it up, inshallah. So many times the child now, the exams come, so the child is now asked to recite some dua. For example, now the dua before entering the toilet, or the dua after eating, whatever dua. So many times the child now is being tested by the examiner. The child says, give me a start. So now that asking for a start, what it means that he didn't start practicing yet. He learned it, but he didn't start practicing. It didn't start becoming part of life. So now therefore, in the examination, you need a start to give a reminder now which one is this. So now they'll start, the examiner gives 1, 2 words, the first 2, 3 words, then the rest carries on. But what does that mean? It means he didn't start yet practicing. So why? Because either the parents or the child or whatever, they felt all this will learn for the madrasa. They learned it for madrasa and forgot it in madrasa. Now they went home, there was no amal, or day to day, while in a madrasa, no amal. So he didn't start practicing. He started learning, we finished learning, we didn't start practicing. Everything gets left the day the person walks out for the weekend, or he walks out because he's entered his course. So the very crucial aspect is the amal. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Allah Ta'ala in the Quran says that it is the people of knowledge that truly fear Allah Ta'ala. Only they fear Allah Ta'ala. Meaning they alone have that khashiyat. The converse of that is that the person without the khashiyat, that is the terminology of the Quran is not a person of knowledge. So these things go hand in hand. True knowledge, the spirit of ilm creates khashiyat. It creates the consciousness of Allah Ta'ala. Now a person is conscious of Allah Ta'ala, he is conscious of Allah Ta'ala all the time. Whether he is alone, whether he is in company, whether he is in public, privacy. Just finish off with one incident, very inspiring incident of Qadi Siddiq Mahdi Sahib Rahmatullah that is written in this kitab, which you might have heard many times from the Sabita Kiram. But every time that I spoke about it, somewhere it helped me. So for my own benefit, just pure barakat, this came to mind again. So just for the general muzakara, that incident very quickly. This one youngster used to be staying in one little masjid in India and studying, and then during the day he used to go to the Madrasa and probably making the imamat and so on. So now while he was busy one night with his mutala and studying, some communal riots broke out. And perhaps, Allah Alam, whatever happened, one house might have been under attack. So one girl ran out and she dashed into the masjid for refuge. Now she dashed into the masjid, this person got a shock. Where you came from here now? So what can I do? This is the condition out there, my life is in danger. So now because of the life and death situation, but now he said, you can't be here. He said, but I can't go anywhere now. So when this became clear that this is a life and death situation, he said, okay, we'll sit in the far corner of the masjid. A small little masjid, no other place. You sit in the far corner of the masjid. And he sat in the opposite corner, facing the wall. And he carried on the whole night studying his kitab. But he had one candle. Now in the candle light, the candle was burning alongside him. There was no electricity. But throughout the night now she's sitting in the far corner, but she's observing. Throughout the night, every now and again, he's putting his finger in the flame of the candle. Now obviously it starts burning, and he's quickly throwing it out. Every now and again he's doing this. And after some time now, it sounded like everything is quiet. It was getting closer to Fajr time. So please disappear from here now, because if somebody sees you here, they're not going to understand what happened here. And I'll get falsely accused of something, and my whole study will get jeopardized. So please now move from here quickly now. She says, fine, I'll go, but first tell me that you were repeatedly putting your finger in that flame. What is that? Who does that? She said, not your business, you go now. If you don't tell me, I'm not going. So now what does he do now? He's trying to get rid of her from there. Eventually he said to her that after all, I'm insan, I'm a young person also. And I also was repeatedly being tempted towards haram. Shaitan was whispering these temptations in my mind, that there's opportunity for you now. So every time that Shaitan whispered this, I put my finger into that flame, and when I started feeling that it's burning, I reminded myself, you can't tolerate this little flame of dunya, how are you going to tolerate the fire of Jahannam? So I was repeatedly reminding myself that the akhirat, Allah Ta'ala is watching, Allah is aware, Allah Ta'ala knows, Allah Ta'ala sees what I'm doing, Allah Ta'ala knows, the deception of the eyes, what the heart conceives, Allah knows. I can sometimes hide from my asatiza, from the administrator, the supervisor, or from my parents, or from people in general. Can I hide from Allah Ta'ala? Allah is aware. So now this was that taqwa. He was studying, he was alone, he was in privacy, but he had translated his knowledge into amal. He had translated his knowledge into a condition of his heart. That taqwa which he learned about in the kitab had become his condition. That consciousness of Allah Ta'ala that was being in the person's life, he learned about, that had become his condition. So now that guided him. And that saved him from the pitfalls of shaitan, from the traps of nafs and shaitan. That's the whole purpose of our study, that whatever we learn becomes a part and parcel of our hearts and lives, that it becomes a part of our daily practical lives. And whether we are in public, whether we are in privacy, wherever we are with the consciousness of Allah. Allah is aware, Allah is watching us. When that becomes the condition of a person's heart, inshallah, at every step, he will gain the divine protection of Allah. Allah Ta'ala bless all of us, Allah Ta'ala accept one and all, and grant all His muhabbat, and keep us with istiqamat al-deen till our last breath. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।